Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Effective Resume Thursdays. We're very, very glad you're with us today. It's February 18th, 2021. Please note, this event will be recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and on the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, and if you happen to post a comment in the chat box or have your microphone or camera on, you give consent for your comments, name, and picture to appear. For those people on Zoom, if you're using PC or Mac, we ask that you use the speaker view, which is in the lower left-hand corner. And where you see that red arrow, where that white line, there's a little white line there. You can grab that and slide the pictures and change the ratio, make the speaker bigger or smaller with the PowerPoint presentation, whatever works best for you. For those people on Zoom, if you have questions throughout the presentation, please, as soon as you think about them, just put them in the chat box. For those people on Facebook, we've currently got 5 people on Facebook. Welcome. Be sure to just enter your questions in the comment field. I am monitoring that feed, and I'll make sure we get those questions asked for you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. In 2008, I founded CareerDFW.org to help those people who were unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I started CareerUSA.org to help people outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area as we were rebuilding the Career DFW website. I've written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search that you may not know. It's available on Amazon for $15, but if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you want to drive by the house when the snow melts, you can throw $10 out the window, and if you drive real slow, I'll attempt to throw a book in your window like the Domino delivery people do. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. I'll tell you about our upcoming program at the end of this program, what our topic will be tomorrow at the end of this session today. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team. At the end of this session, we're going to be giving away 2 winners. 2 people are going to have an opportunity to win 1 month of unlimited use of jobscan.co. It is CO, not COM. JobScan is a great way to take your resume, take a job description, and see how big a percentage it is you match. So please hang out to the very end of the session, and we will be picking a couple winners at the end. Our special guest speaker today is Rex Saiot. He's a human resource recruitment staffing manager. I've known Rex for many years. And for those who live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Rex and Gail Houston have run the Career Transition Workshop. It used to be in Double Oak, Texas, and then moved to up in the Frisco area. It happens 3 times a year, and hopefully when we can all get back together again in person, we'll be doing it again in person, hopefully by fall. So Rex, thank you very much for being with us today, and it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I want to give recognition to Jeff. I don't, he's too modest to tell you that what he's running is some of the best content and resource in the nation. So if you have the opportunity to continue to either support his ministry or attend his sessions, I think that it'd be valuable to you. Let me share screens and show you, let's see, show you my slide set. Okay, can people see that? Let me.
Yep, you're good.
Yep.
Should I, is that good enough, or would you like me to show a slide view?
Yeah, do slide view. Just, I think you can press F5.
Let's see, thank you.
I think that's the shortcut. And that didn't work, okay.
Yeah.
There's that little screen in the upper left-hand corner.
Yes.
You can click there and it'll,
let me,
a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. My screen does not get as high as that. Gee, let me see if
just go to slideshow. You can go to slideshow and just keep going over two more topics.
How's Yeah, my thing is covered right now, and I can't see that that function right now. I'm going to discontinue and then continue. Let me see if I can do that a little bit better. Hold on. Let me see if this pulls down. No, that doesn't pull down. Let me try F5 again. Goodness gracious. Can I move that bar?
Try hitting Alt for a second. I think if you press Alt, it makes that bar go away. If it's the Zoom bar. Oh, there you go. Try hitting Alt 5 maybe.
Alt 5, okay.
Well, I see the little 5 lit up.
Let me see function 5. Did
There we
function
go.
5 help? Okay,
Bingo.
so, okay. I see a lot of folks that are friends. Yeah, great to see you again. I'm making new friends here as well. Very, very happy to be with you. Let me give a value proposition of what my meeting is going to be like, or at least the first introduction. I'm the human resource staffing and recruitment manager for JARS. I'm located in Waxhaw, North Carolina, but it's about, I'd say, 18 minutes team from Charlotte, a little bit north, and we are a global leader in aviation, transportation services, and logistics for Bible translation. You have my contact information. Please, if you have not connected with me on LinkedIn, please do so. And if there's anything that you hear on this presentation where you think, gee, I really need to challenge you, Rex. I don't know where you're coming from, or that's really counter with what I've been hearing for recommendations for resume or applicant tracking system. Please give me a call, and I'll try to step through with you a little bit of the rationale of the presentation that I'm giving now. I wanted to provide you a bio on a little bit of what I know about applicant tracking systems and technologies. I was part of the implementation design team for Hewlett Packard's first applicant tracking system. They used Taleo. We implemented that in 1995. I was the systems architect and an application user for CNO, which stands for Choctaw Nation, their new SAP SuccessFactors applicant tracking system, and I was the national talent acquisition manager for them. I'm the implementation lead, or I was the implementation lead for Nautilus Hyason and their workable applicant tracking system, and I'm a current application user for JARS's Sage ATS recruitment application. So that's a little bit of my background and some of the knowledge that I have in applicant tracking systems. This is the value proposition that I wanted to present to the team. Why an applicant tracking system? The software basically was created because there were so many incoming resumes. This is going to date me, but if there are any people on the call that remember sending in their resume, hard copy, through postal mail, someone had the great idea of saying that, why don't we automate this in an application system? And from that concept, the applicant tracking system was born. It is programmed to handle hundreds of millions of resumes. As a matter of fact, as of now, the best information that I have is that 495 of the Fortune 500 companies use an applicant tracking system. So if you apply for Deloitte, Southwest Airlines, Google, Amazon, you will have to go through their applicant tracking system to get to a recruiter and hopefully a hiring manager. The resume volume team is just going nuts. The best information that I have in Google receives 3 million resumes per year. During a recruitment campaign, Amazon received 280,000 resumes for 6 regional job fairs. So being able to manage that sort of volume takes a specialized application, and it's called the applicant tracking system. I also want to show people that the average number, I got 2 numbers to share with the team. The average number of people that apply for any given job, one source tells me 118. I think that that's low. I like the better number that says that on the average, corporate job offers attract 250 jobs. I'm believing that is the more accurate number that we have. So being able to understand how an applicant tracking system works and being able to design a resume that is applicant tracking friendly is something that I think that you need to have in your toolkit as you go forward with submitting your resumes into these great big companies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get through my content and material first. So as Jeff said, if you have a question, please leave a message in the chat bar, and I will leave somewhere around 10 or maybe even 15 minutes, depending on how much I get through with my presentation for your questions. Beating the, oh, hold on one second. I wanted to get my annotator tool out. Do people see my arrow?
Yes.
It's going up and down. Good. That helps me keep track of where I am on the presentation. I want to show at least 1, 2, 3, 4 ways on how you can beat the applicant tracking system. And again, if you have any questions, put it in the chat bar because I'm gonna give a very crisp presentation, and I'm probably gonna go a little bit faster than a lot of people might be able to write. Have questions later on, or send some information to me and I'll try to answer your questions. The first thing that I wanted to show is the applicant tracking system's best friend and my, oh, okay, I see. The applicant tracking system's best friend is keywords. It's not only keywords, it's keyword saturation. And I'm going to show you what that means. The element, the number one element that an applicant tracking system is, and by the way, an applicant tracking system isn't that smart. At best, it's a glorified grammar or language keyword search counter on your resume. And I'm going to show you what that means. The best, and if you've been in my presentations before, you have seen this in my presentation, and this example stands the test of time. What I want to show is that I've heard of and I've seen so many people, team, talk about keywords. You have to have keywords on your resume. The more keywords is the best. No one that I've seen tells the people who have gone through the presentation how many keywords is enough. What is the quantity of keywords that will make my resume stand out? So I'm going to show you what how many keywords will elevate your resume in front of the recruiter. Now, what you see in front of you, you do not have unless you have a license and you pay a lot of money for with Monster. I still use Monster. It's a valued job board still to this day. I am showing everyone a basic 4 parametric search profile for someone that I did many, many years ago. In this parametric search, ladies and gentlemen, what I was looking for, I'm just looking for 4 things. I'm looking for someone in sales. I'm looking for someone in Flower Mound in a 30-mile radius that submitted in their resume in 3 months. So I'm looking for function, I'm looking for geography, a radius of that preferred geography, and over how long of a period, 3 months or 90 days. So in there, I can input this information in their Power Resume search. They still have this information. Again, this costs a lot of money for the employer. So you don't have access to this unless you are a Monster subscriber. From this, when I input this information, ladies and gentlemen, this is the #1 resume that I got. Now, I want to show you, and I highlighted the word. What was my functional lookup? Sales. Let's say I was looking for a sales manager, a sales representative, a sales account manager, a sales executive. All I wanted to see is the word sales. I wanted to impress the people how many times you're seeing the word sales. You're seeing it throughout. And by the way, this is only page 1 of what I'm looking of what I'm showing to the group. So let me get my trusty marker out. Sales, 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 page 2. Let me get to page 2. Come on. This is not behaving the way I'd like it to, Jeff. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. I don't want to bore you, but ladies and gentlemen, you see how many times the word sales is put into this resume. By the way, this resume is not over. There's another page that comes in. You're seeing sales a lot on this resume. As a matter of fact, I haven't even showed you the entire resume. The resume, and here's a scoreboard. By the way, it was 6 pages long. And in that 6 pages, there were keyword hits of sales 39 times. I saw that word sales many, many times. How does that affect the job seeker? How that affects the job seeker is, generally speaking, you give us too much credit as recruiters for being smart. Many times the only keyword, the best keyword that we have is within the job description. In the job description, what's my keyword for quality analyst? Quality. What's my keyword for financial analyst? Financial. What's the keyword for accountant? Senior accountant. So guess what? My keyword that I put in for Monster, it could be LinkedIn. It could be my applicant tracking system, generally speaking, is within that job title, sales. I can put some more. Rex, are you limited to just one? No, I could put in account management. I can put in quota growth. I could put in new product launch, any of those things. I just cut it down to the very, very bare bone functionality and fundamentals for this search. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, there was only a keyword search of 1.3%. Match. Here's my question. Can you manage your resume for keyword searches to 1.3%? Yes, you can. Absolutely. By the way, was this this was the #1 match score, Rex. There has to be some sort of algorithmic rating then that you're talking about. Absolutely, positively. The applicant tracking system will start counting how many keyword searches are in here. Rex, can you share that algorithm? No, that's proprietary information with Monster. I want to also point this out. How many pages did for this resume to show that many keywords? 6 pages. I don't know, Jeff, where the urban myth still continues with the 1-page resume And that was a 1990s thinking that's come up now into the 2019 2020, 2021. It just befuddles me that senior people that I'm seeing on the call with many years of experience want to cram all of their experience in one page, but they do. They try to do that. By the way, this was an actual job search for an actual candidate for an actual requisition that I had. He was the number one, and I didn't show the name. He was the number one candidate that showed this match. Did I call that candidate? Yeah, I did, because he fit the parametric search of what I was looking for. This is how dumb the applicant tracking system is. The orthodox thinking is that keep your resumes to 2 pages. Have people heard that advice? Okay, maybe 3, maybe 3. The applicant tracking system doesn't count the number of pages on your resume. The pages of your resume equals 1 file. So it doesn't take a look at that resume. But Rex, who's going to go through 6 pages of resume? If it's great content for what I'm looking for, I will go to that 6 page to finally say that, yeah, that's the candidate that I want to call. Rex, should I go over 6? That's not the question. The question is, what can I do to get my resume in front of the next decision maker in the process? Who's the next decision maker? It's the recruiter. Okay. Now, I don't want anyone on this call to say, hey, this guy that was on Jeff's webinar today said that I can go as much as 6 pages, 7 pages, 9 pages, something like that. Yeah, I'm not saying that, guys. What I'm saying is this: the keywords, the number of keywords in your resume matters. And being able, again, to get closer to that offer, you've got to get your resume past the applicant tracking system. Let me give you some actionable recommendations for this. The job description will tell you what the keywords that you're looking for. Within the job description, the best place to take a look for that keyword that gives you the most rating equity is the job title. Let me just give you an example of this. I had a candidate, and Jeff, I'd never seen the job title before. Never seen the job title before. He was the software engagement manager for Bank of America. Okay. I'd never seen that job title before. The point that I want to make there is, and I'm going to jump down to this 3rd bullet, job titles can be the most elastic language on the resume. Rex, tell me what you mean by that. If you feel that you have a very obscure job title, the recruiter does not mind if you call what you're doing, if it's in good faith and you don't want to lie, if you want to call that software engagement manager, hyphen project manager. Do you get more hits with the term project manager? Absolutely, you can do that. I've told people that, okay, was your position 50% project management? They say absolutely, positively, Rex. Then at that point in time, you can say that you're a project manager. It's a better market-facing job that the applicant tracking system and the recruiter can look for. The functionality Let me tell you how powerful these applicant tracking systems are right now. It's not only the key word that you have on the resume, it's now the location of that keyword. If that keyword is in the first half of the page of the resume, it will give you a higher algorithmic value than on the last page, second half of the page. Do people understand that? So the more you load up your keyword, and what's your keyword, generally speaking, it's in the job title. And the more you put that job title in with that keyword, the higher your resume value is going to be in terms of algorithmic calculation. Here's the tip: customize all your resumes. The job title that you have on your resume should have what I call the marquee job title. So right underneath your contact information, put the job title that the requisition is wanting. If the job requisition says that you're looking for, the requisition is looking for a materials management consultant, what's the marquee job title? Material management consultant. If what you're looking for is, if the requisition is looking for software development programmer, PHP, what's your marquee job title? Software development programmer, PHP, so on and so on. But putting that marquee job title header gives you more points in all of the applicant tracking systems keyword search. Do people understand that? If not, ask the question, okay?
So usually at the top of your resume, you'll have city, email address, your LinkedIn address. Are you saying along that line or below it?
Below it, right below it.
Okay.
Yeah, right below it. The applicant tracking system, why is that, Rex? The applicant tracking system will give you points for that. The more points, guess what? The higher your resume is shown out of 250 resumes that have been applied for that position.
So essentially, it'll look different. It'll be kind of standing on its own below that line, to the left, to the middle, or to the center. Left, center, or middle, or right? What's your suggestion?
Middle.
Middle. Okay.
Middle. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it, John. This next section, fancy is out, simple is in, basic is best. So what I mean by that is I'm going to give you an example. I love giving examples. Let me attribute this. TheMuse.com put out this example, and I loved it. They showed a Victoria Harris. I think it's a fictional person. And what they showed is this resume format with the content. I'm going to toggle back to what you see here and show you what the applicant tracking system did to this resume. This is what the applicant tracking system, and I don't know who the applicant tracking system is, but it's probably a low-level, maybe mid-sized applicant tracking system. Look at how it butchered this resume. Look at how this is the before shot, and this is the after shot. Rex, why did it do that? The reason why it did that, look how fancy, look at how over fancy Miss Harris tried to get with this. This column.
I have a question, and looking at this brings it up. I have a basic Word document, and
Yes,
routinely sir. I will see they plug your resume in here and we scan it, and it just makes a hash out of it. Everything on the resume is chronological, job title, and it makes this look like an absolute artwork. I mean, I cannot understand how it cannot just parse. This is the chronological order. What's it doing? Why is it doing that?
Why it's doing that is that content is in this column, and too many applicant tracking systems can't see this data. Do you see this box? Data in this box in many applicant tracking systems can't be seen. So the best that the technology can do is that here's what Victoria's background or resume looked like. It looks great when you submit it in, but then it just gets killed with some applicant tracking systems. Look how poor this is. Okay, this is how the applicant tracking system parsed the resume. This is how Mrs. Or Ms. Harris's resume came out from what you see. Hold on, there. Okay, let me give you another example. This is a candidate, you don't see the resume. You see a lot of those fancy, and Word does this to you guys, okay? Do you see how the data comes in columns? First column, second column. The data is good data because it tells me, this gives me the summary, areas of expertise, like seeing that. Education, love seeing that. Technical skills, love seeing that. And this is where the red meat is. It's always in a responsibility set, okay? This is what my applicant tracking system did to it. It killed this information that I have, that this candidate has here, here, and here. My applicant tracking system could not see expertise, education, and technical skills. Rex, what was this guy's expertise? IT. Ladies and gentlemen, my applicant tracking system just killed 25% of this guy's resume because by the way, I asked him, I knew what Jeff, I knew that I was going to have this presentation. I asked him, did you do this? You know, not blaming. He said, no, this was prepared for me by a professional. I'll give you another crying shame. Let me move everyone's picture to the right so that I can show this. Do people see how long this guy's been in this? I don't know if you can see that. It's really, really tiny. But this guy has experience since 1999 to present, 2020. How many pages did he use for his resume? 1. You're kidding me. That's why he had to scrunch everything all in one page. And I asked the guy, please send me your original resume, and please tell me your original resume has 3 pages to it. He said, yeah, how did you know? Because you've been in your profession and craft before the millennials started. And he did. By the way, Rex, did you interview this guy? Absolutely. He goes for his final interviews tomorrow. So there is hope. But I'll tell you, and again, Jeff, this is my applicant tracking system. I had to look through it to understand, hey, this guy has a lot more going for him. Okay. Here's the actionable things that I want the team to come up with, and it's 35 after. I'm gonna try to get through this in about the next 10 minutes, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit of speed. Stay with some very, very familiar font styles. I don't want to see any Vulcan or Wingdings on your resume. Calibra, New Times Roman, Arial. Pick one font size and stay with it if you can. What I mean by that is that don't use font sizes up to 20, and most of your resume is 10-point font. If you, by the way, let me attribute this Dirk Spencer. This is a Dirk Spencer truism, and I really liked what Dirk's findings came out with. If it's, please do not get, I'm even stretching the 10-point because a lot of people in these calls have said, Rex, 10-point, I can't do that. 12-point, do 12-point. But the majority of your text has to be 12-point, okay? No text is in boxes, no tables, no content in header, footer, no content in columns. Why is that? Because some applicant tracking systems cannot pick up that content. Okay, simple is in. Keep it very simple. Fancy is out. This is what the applicant tracking system wants to see. This is how your resume can get friendly with the applicant tracking system. Let me attribute this to Indeed.com. I like what they did and the advice that they gave here. Don't fall in love with acronyms. Write out the acronyms. So an example here, search engine optimization, SEO, write it out, and then you can do this. If you've got a certification in PMP, write it out. PMP stands for, there's a project manager on this call, I know that there is. Project management, what? What does PMP stand for? Whatever it is, write that out, okay? SPHR, SPHR is Senior Human Resources Professional, write that out. I like also this recommendation by Indeed. And by the way, they have about 13 recommendations. If people just ask for the slide set, you'll have this slide set, and you can go to this and take a look at what Indeed came up with. And it was I thought very strong recommendations. Submit a tailored resume. Customize your resume for every job. Every job, Rex. Every job. You'd be surprised at even managers can tell whether or not you've used a one-size-fit-all resume. I used to know that number, Jeff. It's absolutely positively over 50%. Over 50% of the managers know that you've used a one-size-fits-all resume, and guess what? That number for recruiters is over 70%. This is what some people try to do. They try to just take the job, the job description, and they use the content here and embed that on the resume. I can tell, guys. I can tell if you do that. Please don't do that. Now, Jeff, what I liked about what Jeff is offering, that job scan tool, I think does a nice job of doing some sort of alignment or match, correct, Jeff, with job descriptions in your resumes, and comes up with some good recommendations on content and how it better aligns with the job description, correct? Okay. There are some HR people on the call, I think. For those people, they know this, I know this, many, too many times a job description is very obsolete. So taking a job description, guys, and then trying to use your resume to align best with that job description, a lot of job descriptions generally are not as up to date as people want. I'm sorry, whose people? Hiring management. Okay. I'm going to give I started showing this slide set. I really like this slide set because it tells us timing, and I've got about 7 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jeff again. Resume submittal. Is there a best timing to get your resume in? Absolutely, yes. There's been analysis. There's been some scientific statistics shown on this. If you apply on a Monday, it increases your hiring chances by 46%, according to TalentWorks. I like TalentWorks. I follow them a lot. Rex, why is that? There has to be behavior in back of this. The answer to that is absolutely yes. As a recruiter, if I've got a posting and I'm using the weekend to draw people, on Monday I look at my requisition or the people who've submitted in their resumes for my requisition, and I take a look at what's come in over the weekend. So if you apply on Monday, guess what? The recruiters tend to see your resume on Mondays. Delivering your resume, and this guy Mark Babbitt, he comes up with a little bit more granularity. If you deliver your resume between early Tuesday morning and Thursday before noon, it's even better. Rex, what's the behavioral rationale for that? The recruiter has to get good candidates to their managers before the end of the week. Guess what? Rex gets an email. Locke gets an email. Foster gets an email. Gail Bridgman gets an email saying, Gail, Locke, Foster, where's my resumes? So we start scrambling and trying to get good resumes to candidates. So if you deliver your resume by early Tuesday morning, I'll say Tuesday morning, what Mark said in Tuesday morning is absolutely positively correct. I will take a look at your resume and I will get that resume in the candidate's hands by Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Hold on. This is, chances of getting an interview 5 times higher if you submit the application before. I've got to move my screen so that I could read this a little bit better. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm toggling. Before 10 a.m. Why is that? Why is 10 a.m. a magic number? 10 a.m. is a magic number because it's mid-morning. What we're trying to do as recruiters is get good resumes to managers so they can take a look at it in the afternoon. They can get us information of here of the 10 people that Rex you sent me, I like 3 of them, contact them, and now we have the afternoon to contact you. I love this last recommendation. If you post your job within the first 96 hours, the percentage boost is 64.7% that that you will be able, or your resume will be seen by recruiters more. Why is that? Because in the first, if I find a good candidate in the first 96 hours, do I need to take another 4 days to take a look for better candidates? No, I stop at, as a matter of fact, guys, if I see a good yield of good talent in the first 24 hours, I cut off from there. I'm too busy. I don't have to take a look at 250 people, okay? So Rex, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is speed. Get your stuff in there, get it in there very quick, and get it in there customized. Rex, that's a lot to ask. Yeah, you're competing with 250 people. Okay. Let me go to the next page. Here's the last recommendation. just avoid the machine altogether. Your network dominates the machine. If you can, and I'm attributing this source to SHRM, who I'm part of, employee referrals is not the number 3, it's not the number 2, it's the number 1 source for hires. So if I can say that Jeff is my best buddy, he recommended me to apply for this position, I send that in a cover letter, an email, or a phone call. I've seen statistics, and I should attribute this, but I can't, but I just read it in the last 48 hours, Jeff. Your chances of getting contacted by the recruiter is 3 times greater than without this network referral. And by the way, this is a good lead into Jeff's next series, which is, I think, networking. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes.
Good. I want to thank people on the call. It's 2:47, and I know that we promptly depart at 3 o'clock. So if there are any questions that you have, I appreciate everyone's attention and your.
Yeah, we've got a few questions. Deborah asked, LinkedIn often shows the number of people applied for through their system for a particular position. How accurate is this information, and is it a benchmark for the number of applicants applying?
Yeah, it is. The reason why, and Deborah gave that question.
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah, here's the genius of that question. It now tells you how many candidates do you have to beat. It's not just the applicant tracking system. You are in a competitive race to get your resume on top of the stack. So this is something this is a benchmark with me personally. If I see that the position's been out for 4 days and there's more than 30 people who've applied, generally speaking, I say that, Rex, you just missed the window. Okay. Unless it's for a very, very high demand position. Can you give me an example of that, Rex? Data scientist, JavaScript architect, cloud solutions consultant. If you're one of those, there ain't many of you in the market right now. So on your question, Deborah, is it accurate? Yes, it is. So how do I use that to my advantage? If you see a high number in there, and generally speaking, I didn't apply to anything over 30. I just, again, after 30, I thought, oh my gosh, that recruiter's starting to call people, and I missed my window. Deborah, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thanks for the
She
question.
also happened to ask, did the candidate get the job? And I guess that's that first resume that you showed us. How many?
I'll send something to you. He gets his first Zoom interview at 10 o'clock with the director of IT and the manager of technology infrastructure. His Zoom call is at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. Jane asked, first half of the page or first half of the resume for those keywords?
Yeah, first half of the page.
Okay.
So first half of the first page?
First half of the first page is your power, is your power space.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you talk again about the marquee job title? Can you sort of explain that one more time so that make sure everybody understands that?
Yeah. Let me give you a story. I give this story a lot, by the way. This will take only about 60 seconds. A guy calls me. I don't know how he gets my number at 3 p.m. on Sunday. I pick up the call. He says, hey, I'm interested in do you have an accounts receivable manager position? I say, yes, I do. Can you send me your resume on Monday? He says, yes, I will. What job title do I not see on that resume? Accounts receivable manager. If you're not an accounts receivable manager, it tells me that you don't have an experience. Now that's a jump in assumption. But if you have the title, generally speaking, you're doing the job, you've got the competency, you've got the skill set, you've done the responsibility, all of that stuff. So here's what I mean by the job title. If someone's looking for a software project manager and they have that on their resume, that tells me that there's a strong alignment with your resume and what I'm looking for. Okay. If my requisition and my manager is looking for a senior financial analyst, and that's what my requisition has, and your resume has that, guess what? I'm interested, my manager's interested, and generally speaking, the applicant tracking system will say that, hey, look at this candidate.
Great. Okay, next question.
I was just going to ask, maybe going back to Deborah's question real quickly. She asked about on LinkedIn, it will show you how many people applied. That's how many people applied through LinkedIn, right? And I've heard it's best as you see the opening, you may see it on LinkedIn, but you go through the company website to actually apply.
Yeah.
That's better. And so LinkedIn is not going to show those numbers. Do you think it's better to go? Is it better to go through the company website than to apply through an Indeed, Monster, or LinkedIn?
No question, zero question. And Christopher, let me give you another nugget in there. Upon a posting of a requisition, how fast does that candidate's resume hit my applicant tracking system? 200 seconds. So as soon as I post a requisition, I can have first responders in less than 3 minutes. Guys, get on your horse. Speed is an attribute and a virtue in this market right now. Does that help you, Chris? Yeah.
Yes. Somebody said, how far back should you go with your experience? So if you've been working for 30 years, how much do you put on a resume?
It depends. For if there's IT technologists on the call, the things change so much that generally speaking, I've talked to individuals, Jeff, that will say that they don't show anything more than 8 years in back of their background. Here's the key though. Whatever that you have in your background that makes you the more competitive candidate, put that in. What do you mean by that, Rex? My Hewlett-Packard experience goes back to 1988. HP was such a big influence in my career that I will always show that background. Rex, that's before the millennium. That's right. But that's where I got most of my professionalism, my growth, and I like HP. I'll give you another example. When Y2K hit, and I still remember that, guys. Guess how many resumes I was getting with COBOL in their background? How many people put COBOL in their background? Hardly anyone anymore. But Y2K, what was the major programming language that the recruiters needed to see? COBOL. So they were digging Jeff, they were digging into their background in the late 1980s, the mid 1980s, the late 1970s, and they were getting hired. Why? Because their background, there's something in their background that showed competitiveness for the requisition that they're applying for.
Great. All right. Well, we're almost out of time, so I need to move on. Rex, thank you very, very much. I want to let everybody know in the chat box, I did put the Indeed link. I went and found the link while Rex was talking about it. So if you want to how to beat the ATS system, that Indeed link, he has it. Just be sure to copy that out of the chat box. I've also included the sample resume that we use the other Thursdays when we don't have guest speakers with us. So that's in there, and it does have the job title listed, so you can see what's going on right there. So both of those are in the chat box. If you need to, be sure to copy those. You can download them. I do want to tell you about other upcoming program we have coming on. Every week we are putting on programming every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Starting March 1st, we're going to start a networking workshop every Monday at 1 o'clock. I'm going to have different speakers talking about networking. Hopefully Rex will come back and talk about how to network with companies and how to network with people in HR. We'll have different speakers each week on Mondays. Every Tuesday, we do a LinkedIn presentation. Every Wednesday, interviewing. Every Thursday, we talk about effective resumes. And every Friday is the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. Tomorrow morning at the North Dallas Focus Group, we're going to talk about making sense of life's changes. You know, losing a job is tough. And why did you lose your job? And going through all that stuff. So if you'd like to find out about that, please join us tomorrow morning at 9:30. Next Tuesday, our speaker is Kurt Vandemater. He's a executive retained search recruiter. He's going to show us LinkedIn from the back end. He pays around $10,000 a year for the LinkedIn package. Please join us, LinkedIn from Recruiter's Eye, next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Next Wednesday, our interview session will be on session number 8. We'll be talking about asking questions during the interview. So, you know, how to ask questions, how many you should prepare, you know, please join us then. And then next Thursday, we'll be back to our regular Effective Resume Thursday. Join us for resume tips. I know we have another guest speaker who will be joining Carol next Thursday. This session has been recorded. I know it was one of the questions on Facebook. You can go back. You'll be able to go back on the Career FW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel and see this recording. It'll take about 2 hours for it to be up on YouTube, but you can go back and watch it as often as you'd like. Sometimes when you see the slides, it doesn't quite give you all the details because you're missing the words that go along with those slides. So all that'll be up there. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'd be appreciated. If you're not receiving emails about our workshops, please join the Career USA mailing list. I'll put this email address up at the very, very end, and I'll leave it up so you can send an email if you'd like to. That way you'll find out about all the Zoom links. We put out 6 or 7 emails a week just about our programming that's going on. On the Career USA YouTube channel, it is Career USA. Be sure to click on the playlist button, and underneath where you see the video, don't click on the video, but click down below where it says View Full Playlist, where you see that red arrow, and then up will come a list of all the different dates and topics and what we talked about every week. So you'll be able to see all that, and you'll see Rex's presentation. It should be the top one on the list in a couple hours. If you'd like to join the Career FW and Career USA LinkedIn groups, we have both. You're welcome to do that. All right, it's time to give away 2 1-month unlimited use of JobScan. This will be for the month of March. So what we need everybody to do is in the participant box, please enter a number between 1 and 100. We're going to play the the Price is Right game. It'll be the 2 closest winners without going over. So it's got to be without going over. So I'll give everybody a few seconds to get your numbers in there. 2 closest without going over. All right, everybody in? Okay, time's up. And the winning number, whoops, where did it go? $59. So let's see here. I see a 58. Let's see if anybody else here. 58, 59. Wow. See a 57. So Christina with a 57, and I think David with a 58. Those will be our 2 winners. You need to send me an email at webmaster@careerdfw.org. I need your name and email address, and we will get you on the list for the month of March. All right, just a reminder, Career FW, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Rex is a volunteer. We have no full or part-time employees. Rex is a volunteer. I'm a volunteer. I've never gotten paid to do any of this stuff. over the last 13 years. This is just what I do to give back to the community. We survive on donations. It helps pay for Zoom. It helps pay for the web names, the web hosting, everything else we have to do. So please consider when you get your next great opportunity to please make a donation when you land your next job. Thank you for joining us today. There's the email address if you'd like to subscribe. And if you know somebody else who's unemployed and they're not partaking of these workshops, please, please, please let them know what you've learned and how you can help. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again. Rex, thank you again for your time.
My pleasure.